Immigrants, stop sending money back home to lazy and non-ambitious people who is trying to get to their success by taking a shortcut through you. Furthermore, the Bible says, a man who doesn't work mustn't eat. It also says, oh sluggard, mean lazy one, go look at the ants and be wise. He said, the ants provide food in the summer and harvest in the winter. The hardest you ever work is when you migrate. The most stress, the most sleepless night, the most depression, the most loneliness, and maybe no sex. So stop sending money back home to lazy people. However, if you have family members who are going to school, help them. If you have parents, help them, but save your money. Because when you retire, who is going to be there to help you? So stop sending money back home to lazy and non-ambitious people, because they're only trying to get to their success by taking advantage of you. Use wisdom and invest your money wisely, because when you get older, you don't have the time and the energy to work so hard. You get it? Yeah. That's golf shot right there.
You're not a person anymore. You're just an ATM with a passport. Every migrant knows this feeling, that the moment when your phone rings and your stomach drops, because you know it's not how are you, it's when is the money coming. They see your Instagram, they see the city lights. What they don't see is you working 3 jobs, eating ramen for the 5th night straight, and crying in 1-bedroom apartment you share with 2 strangers. They think you made it, but you're just surviving in a different currency, and the price is your own peace. But here's the truth they won't tell you. The real trap is not sending money home. It's sending your entire soul and still being told it's not enough. Today, I want us to break free from that guilt. If you've ever felt this weight, keep watching this, because this is for you. I want us to talk about this issue. I have a couple of clips, people talking about people not sending money back to Jamaica, the diaspora, Jamaicans and Caribbeans. Let's watch them to the very end, and then I will be back to discuss everything with you guys.
I am guilty of being one of those family members who thought the grass was greener in foreign countries. So I thought that I grew up believing that once me have a family or friend who live America or Canada, them good, them alright. So because we grow up with that mentality, we assume that once we call on a friend or family that's living abroad, them supposed to just show out money give we. And if them don't do it, we vex. The harsh truth is, now that I am here in Canada, and I have first-hand experience of what the lifestyle is in Canada, the amount of bills that we have to pay. A person who does not have first-hand experience will not understand that. The truth is, we really want to help you. We really want to help everybody. We really want to help all our family and our friends. But realistically, we can't. And without having this experience, so if I didn't come and have this experience and I was still back home in Jamaica, and I am looking at what is perceived to be a good life once you live in a foreign country, we go just assume, say, we family member just mean, or you know, they don't care, or you know, they don't have no conscience. When the truth is, John, no, we really want to help, but we have to think about ourselves first. We have to think about our bills first. Now that I have first-hand experience of living in a foreign country and having family members or friends that might call on me for assistance, and when I say no or I can't, I feel bad, but they don't know that I feel bad. But it allows me to reflect on when I used to live in Jamaica, and I might have had a rough patch or two and called on a friend or family who said no as well, and deep down I felt some type of way. I felt like, yeah man, they could have helped me, but they don't help me. I now understand that they had to put their priorities first. All in all, being the person back home in Jamaica and being the person living in a foreign country, it has allowed me to understand the situation from both perspectives. And so therefore, if ever I'm having a conversation with someone who might have a family member or a friend who is asking them for assistance, blah, 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 and they continuously do it, and it's like they don't understand, it allows me to step in and be like, you know what, this family and friend back home in Jamaica or whichever other Caribbean country, they don't understand. They really, truly don't understand that you have a lot going on here. Because surface level, we assume that if you're living in a foreign country, you're good, you're well off, you can't help. Both persons, whether you're in a foreign country or you're back home, just have to be mindful and understand that everybody, not all if you're in a foreign country, everybody, they go through life and, as much as family and friends, we can jump in and help here and then. It cannot be all the time. And we also have to understand that. Anyway, I know it has been a minute, guys. I've been keeping busy. Do me a favor, like, comment, share. Bye.
Now, people of Jamaica. This is not quite a public service announcement. But I just want to say that those of you who are requesting for family and friends to help, whether it's monetary, or items, please keep in mind there are individuals out there who have no home. Not just no roof, no home. There are people that are completely displaced, whose well-being must be prioritized. Please do not reach out to your families who live in the UK, in the US and Canada and ask for things that are not important. I understand that you have lost things, and some of you may have lost what allows you to maintain your livelihood. But understand that some of these things are just not important anymore. Well, not quite anymore at this time. All right. So before we send money for nails, which I've been asked already, before we send money for things that do not compare to housing and food, as a matter of fact, you can ask those WhatsApp messages and so they won't even be opened. Yeah, I understand it's the survival of the fittest. I get the devastation. You may have your house standing, but just remember, right next door to you, somebody's house probably wash away. Don't call me, please. All right, be mindful, have a heart, be mindful of what you ask your family and friends for.
Before a Jamaican come a foreign and beg your money, then beg your work. Yeah, no matter how we no love work when we are Jamaica, when we come a foreign a work we want. We don't want your money. We want you teach we how to fish. We don't want you going no fishing yam.
One thing to tell me now, Zine, me have 6 people for send money to Jamaica. Remember, say me not have no money tree I grow. I may have my rent, my light bill, my car note, my car insurance. And then now, I tell them, say me I send each of them $50. Mumzel she a talk about, I call them Mumzel, Pumpsy, Sasha, Jamelia, Amanda. Mumzel she a come take up herself a talk about, nobody can send her $50 from foreign. Remember you do you ask her sit down and get her money, you know. So all you tell me say you don't want me send you $50. So I not send you none then. It's simple. Me keep mine in my pocket.
I hope they use this for something good.
You don't know what is going on. We are making money, you are sleeping. You don't know what is going on, eh?
I hope they use this for something good.
You don't know what is going on. We are making money, you are sleeping. You don't know what is going on, eh? We are making money. Gun shit, man. Gun shit, man.
What's good, family? Welcome back to the Bantu Merchant channel, where we talk about the economics, culture, and raw truth of the African and Caribbean diaspora. Today, I want us to go deep into something that touches every migrant heart but stays hidden behind smiles and fine text messages: the remittance struggle. That silent pressure, that invisible chain, that moment when you realize that people you love the most have turned you into a bank they can withdraw from but never deposit into. Because for many back home, you're not their child, their siblings, their friend anymore. You've become an ATM with a passport. A success story they didn't even help write but expect to read from it for free. So today we're talking about why families expect too much. What does that do to you people in the diaspora? It breaks you, breaking the bond, you know. So guys, let us get into this thing and talk about it. I want to tell you something. Back home in Jamaica, Nigeria, Kenya, Haiti, or anywhere across our diaspora, there is this belief, this myth, this almost religious conviction. If you live abroad, you're good, you're set, you made it. That is the kind of thinking, even myself, I had it. They see the photos, the clean streets, the new phone, the winter coat that cost more than a month's rent back home, and in their minds, that equals to wealth. That equals to obligation. That equals to you owe us now. But here is what the Instagram feed doesn't show. The nurse working a 16-hour shift in a Canadian winter, so cold even her bone aches. The construction worker in New York sending 60% of his check back home when eating dollar store noodles for dinner. The IT professional in London, brilliant and a degree holding person, still living paycheck to paycheck because rent ate half, taxes ate a quarter, and survival ate the rest. We look successful, but we're just surviving louder. I want to put myself in shoes, so I'll use the word we. And that gap between what they think our life is and what actually is, that's where the trap lives. Because they don't see the bills, they don't see the loneliness, they don't see the depression that comes from working yourself to the bone in a country that doesn't feel like home, just so people back home can feel comfortable. And when you try to explain, when you say, I can't send this month, or I need to save for my own rent, suddenly these people brand you as a selfish person. You're acting brand new. You forgot where you came from. That's what they say. But the truth is, you didn't forget them. They forgot that you're human. Now, let us talk about the weapon they use to keep this trap locked. Guilt. Oh, guilt is a masterpiece, you know. A multi-generational, finely tuned instrument of control. Your cousin needs school fees. You're the only one. They'll tell you that. Your mom is sick. You know how the hospitals are here. Without you, mom is going to die. We raised you. We sacrificed. Now it's your time to sacrifice for us. It's your time to die for us, like your Jesus. And listen, I'm not saying that the need is not real. I'm not saying you don't help your family, but let us be honest about what's happening here. This is not partnership. This is not reciprocal. This is extraction. Because when love becomes obligation and gratitude becomes demand and thank you becomes what else can you do? That's not family anymore. That's a business relationship where you're the only one investing and they're the only ones collecting dividends. And here's the part that nobody wants to admit. And I know some of you are going to get mad, by the way. Many of our families have gotten comfortable with our discomfort, right? They've structured their entire lives around our remittances. No jobs, no hustle, no backup plan. Just call the one abroad. And the system loves this. Governments back home love this. You know why? Because remittances make up 20 to 30% of GDPs in countries like Jamaica, Haiti, Nigeria, Ghana, and the Philippines. They don't need to create jobs. They don't need to fix corruption. They don't need to build infrastructure. Because you, the diaspora, you became the social safety net they refused to build. You're subsidizing failed governments with your sweat. Work 3 shifts, 3 jobs. You're paying for the dysfunction they refuse to fix. And your family, they are the intermediaries. And like in this broken system, passing the bill to you while the leaders live in luxury. So what happens when you can't send anymore? What happens when you lose your job? When your car breaks down? When you need help? Let me tell you what happens here. There is silence, deafening silence. Suddenly the phone that rang every week goes quiet. The family group chat you were tagged in 50 times a day, full of crickets. Because the painful truth is you were never family. You was a resource. And when the resource runs dry, the relationship does too. I've heard the stories. I've lived some of them and I know you have too. The uncle who came every month for 10 years until you said no. once never heard from him again. The siblings who guilt trip you for getting for forgetting your roots while they sold the land your grandmother left you without asking. The parents who told everyone in the village their child was successful abroad but never once asked if that child was okay. And you stayed quiet because to speak up felt like betrayal. But family, let me tell you something. Let me sit upright. You are not betrayed for having boundaries. You are not selfish for needing rest. You are not brand new for refusing to drown while keeping everyone else afloat. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And being abroad does not mean you signed a contract to die quietly under the weight of everyone else's expectations. So, to the end of this video, what should we do? Because I'm not here to just drag the issue. I'm here to help us break free. Number one, let us have the honest conversations. Tell your family the truth. Know that the curated truth, the real truth. I work 2 jobs. I am tired. I want to help, but I can't help everyone all the time forever. I can't. And yes, they might get mad, they might guilt trip you, they might call you ungrateful. Let them be. Because your mental health, your financial stability, your future, those matter too. Number 2, set clear boundaries. You don't have to explain every expense. You don't have to justify your budget. I can send X every Y months. That's what I can do. And stick to it. Because if you don't hold the line will move every single time. Number 3, invest in systems, not just emergencies. Stop funding chaos. Start funding structure. Instead of sending money every time someone is in crisis, help build something sustainable. A business maybe, a farm, a skill, an education that leads to somewhere. If they refuse, if they just want the handout, that tells you everything you need to know. Number 4, protect your peace unapologetically. You didn't migrate to become a martyr. You migrated to build your life. And part of that life is knowing when to say no, when to step back, when to choose you. Not because you don't love them, but because you love yourself enough not to disappear in the process of saving them. Family, let me leave you with this. You are not a machine. You are not a miracle worker. You are a human being with limits, with needs, with dreams that matter. And the people who truly love you, they'll understand that. The ones who don't, they were never yours to carry. So yes, I want you to support all, send down, send help when you can, but not at the cost of your peace, not at the cost of your future, and never at the cost of your soul. Because the remittance is the trap, and it is real, but so is your power to break free from it. So if this message hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me what's been your experience with family expectations and remittances. And if you're new here, subscribe to the Bantu Merchant channel. We talk about the real economics and the culture of the diaspora. No filter, no fluff, just the truth. Until next time, guys, keep your spirit rich even when your wallet is not. Bless our family. I hope to see you in the next one.